A key Daviess County highway project continues moving forward. More on its progress, plus one Spencer County community is answering letters to Santa. We take a look at this year's letter writing, and part one of Bill Potter's interview with Brad Ward and Nicole Hurley of the Du Bois County Community Foundation tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin this evening with U.S. Marshals apprehending an Indianapolis area man in Jasper earlier this week on numerous felony charges related to and including child exploitation. Authorities say 28-year-old Justin Mahan was wanted after facing more than 22 charges, including molesting a 5-year-old girl as a result of an investigation in Greenwood on the south side of Indianapolis. Law enforcement say they began investigating Mahan on November 18th after a Greenwood woman reported that he was harassing her. She told police that Mahan had installed some tracking software on her cell phone that also recorded her text messages. Police were able to confirm that the software had been installed on the victim's phone. Mahan was arrested on November 20th for an outstanding arrest warrant in Johnson County while he was sitting outside the woman's apartment. Police obtained a search warrant for Mahan's phone in December and found several images that depicted Mahan engaged in sexual acts with a 5-year-old girl. Mahan fled to Jasper to avoid arrest, but U.S. Marshals located and arrested him on Tuesday at an apartment on the city's southeast side. Mahan is looking at a felony count of child molesting, 5 Class C felony counts for child molesting, 14 Class C felony counts of child exploitation, 1 Class D felony count of computer tampering, and 1 Class D felony count for stalking. An accident along State Road 164 just outside of Celestine sent one man to a regional hospital. Du Bois County Sheriff's deputies say 18-year-old Gina Kiefner of Jasper was eastbound on State Road 164 about a mile east of Celestine at 9:45 last night when deputies say she went left of center. Kiefner told police she was distracted by her phone, and when she looked up, she discovered that she had gone left of center as an oncoming vehicle driven by 50-year-old Kevin Leakin of Celestine approached. The two cars collided at the left front part of each car, according to sheriff's deputies. That impact caused Leakin's vehicle to flip onto its hood and come to rest off of the north side of the roadway. Kiefner's vehicle slid and came to a stop in the westbound lane of State Road 164, facing south. Kiefner and Leakin were both taken to Memorial Hospital by ambulance. Kiefner complained of upper leg pain in her left leg, while Leakin complained of leg and back pain. Leakin was later airlifted to St. Mary's Hospital in Evansville as a precautionary measure. Kevin Leakin's wife, Kathy, who was a passenger in his vehicle, refused medical treatment at the scene. Sheriff's deputies say everyone involved in the crash was wearing a seatbelt and the airbags in both vehicles deployed. Celestine first responders, Memorial Hospital EMS, and wreckers from Evilor's towing service all assisted. In other news this evening, plans for the city of Jasper's future have taken a bit of a twist. Last night, the Jasper City Council formally approved the addition of the Downtown Riverfront Master Plan into the city's comprehensive plan. The plan was added on as an addendum to the comprehensive plan that was originally adopted back in 2010. Jasper Mayor Terry Seitz says the comprehensive plan is always subject to change. He says the Plan Commission and the general public have played big roles in making this plan a reality.
It's always subject to a lot of changes, and this is one that we really built right off a recommendation of the plan to look at doing some type of master planning work in downtown Jasper, and we're very delighted that the council chose to accept the Plan Commission's recommendation and make it all official, and really appreciate the public's response over the last year making this happen.
Now, the Downtown Riverfront Master Plan primarily focuses on improvements along the courthouse square, enhancements to the riverfront area, the reuse of former industrial properties, connecting the downtown area to the riverfront area, and the integration of public art. These plans are viewable online, and you can go to jasperindiana.gov and go to the Documents Center, which is under the Online Services tab, to view the plans. Also last night, the council announced several new appointments to city boards. These appointments are as follows. Daniel Buck was appointed to the Advisory Board of Zoning Appeals. Beth Seidel is set to serve on the Jasper Community Arts Commission. Lisa Kiefner was appointed to the Jasper Partnership Commission. Nick Bramas and Meredith Vogel will serve on the Jasper City Plan Commission. Bernie Vogler is set to serve on the Redevelopment Commission, and Greg Krodel was appointed to the Stormwater Management Board. Those are all first-time appointees. In final notes, the council received an update on fee changes for the Spirit of Jasper train for the 2014 season. These changes are in the round trip to Cuzco or DuBois with the Ride and Dine, which will go up by $5 from this year to $50 next year. Round trip to Cuzco or DuBois Ride and Dine on the Monon car will go up by $5 next year to $70, and private charters of Car 200 and Car 300 will rise up to $1,564 and $1,632 respectively. Those are both increases from their prices this year of $1,449. Though winter weather has put a stop to construction efforts on a Daviess County road project, that project is continuing to move forward behind the scenes. Officials had been hoping to get pavement down for Phase 1 of the Odin-Cannelberg Road project between County Road 450 North and 550 North this year, but that work is now on hold. Daviess County Highway Superintendent Phil Cornelius points to the weather as the main source of the problem. He says work behind the scenes is currently going on for the next phase.
Phase, what we're calling 2A, which starts at the end of Phase 1 and proceeds north for another 2.1 miles. It's fully funded, and we're getting ready to start in the right-of-way development process, so we should be purchasing right-of-way basically any time. We're looking to, as soon as we have the FEMA's approval from NDOT to proceed forward spending the money, then we're going to proceed developing or buying right-of-way for Phase 2A.
The application for federal funding of the project through NDOT has already been sent in, and that was done last Friday, according to Cornelius. He says the Highway Department has high hopes that the project will score well with NDOT, and also says the goal is to prevent traffic issues as we move forward.
The goal ultimately is the project's about saving lives. You know, we have a mixture of commercial trucks, motor vehicles, and horse-drawn traffic on the road. So the ultimate goal is to provide a separation for the horse-drawn vehicles versus the motor vehicles and commercial vehicles, and to avoid collisions and fatalities with the horse and buggies.
Now, the next phase of the project, known as Phase 2A, will involve construction between County Roads 550 North and 800 North. The Daviess County Council has already approved more than $800,000 towards the purchase of right-of-way for that project. The project is set to cost a total of $11.6 million, and Cornelius says the department hopes to hear from NDOT concerning its decision next month. He says the plans call for land purchases to be wrapped up by the end of March of next year and for the next phase to go to bid in December of next year. He says construction on the next phase is expected to start in the spring of 2015. Speaking of Daviess County, a Daviess County coal mine is set to close in the near future. Peabody Energy has given notice to the state of its intent to shut down the entire operation at the Viking mine in the southwestern portion of the county. Officials with Peabody say they have not decided yet on a date for shutdown, but in the Federal Worker Adjustment and Retraining notification, the company states that the shutdown of the mine will be permanent and is set to begin sometime between New Year's Eve and January 13th of next year. Now, the Viking mine originally opened back in 1988, and the mine produced 1.3 million tons of coal last year and had 110 employees. Officials say the mine is now at the end of its coal reserves. The company notice says the closing is set to have an impact on 89 jobs, but Peabody is currently working with employees at the mine to place them in positions with various other company operations across the Midwest. In a statement, a company spokesman says many of the employees have been offered placement at other Peabody operations and they will move to those new roles. The statement further says this notice was given in advance in order to help the workers start on what the company hopes will be a smooth transition to the new jobs. Now, Peabody Coal and subsidiary company Black Beauty have several coal mines across southwestern Indiana, including the Bear Run mine in Sullivan County and the Francisco mine in Gibson County. Finally this evening, as we close in on Christmas, a Spencer County community is wrapping up a campaign for kids all over the world. In the town of Santa Claus, Santa's elves can be found answering letters from kids all over the world. The letters have been coming in from other states and countries such as China and even Russia. The letters are answered in the town's original post office building, which was built in 1856, and it was moved from its original location at the intersection of State Road 245 and U.S. Highway 231 to property next to the current home of the Santa Claus Museum on State Road 245. Pat Cook says the volunteers involved in answering the letters are what allow for all of them to get answered in time for Christmas.
There's no way. The problem for me as the head elf trying to get this answered is I don't know on one given day if we're going to have 10,000 letters coming. No, 400, 600, 300 or what.
Cook says she anticipates that the legacy of the letters and the town will continue to grow as we head into the future.
Well, we're the town. You know, we're Santa Claus, and that has really grown in the last few years. It was popular when they built the statue in 1935. People were coming here. War came along, and everything sort of died. And then when Lewis Cook came here in '46 and built Santa Claus Land, it revived it. And so it's just been growing. And it's a legacy. It's a tradition. It's something we're very proud of, mostly proud of the fact that we make a lot of people have fun and be happy.
Now, the letter writing tradition was originally begun back in 1914 by the town's postmaster at that time. Cook's father, Jim Yellig, came back to Santa Claus in 1930 and took on the letter writing. The answering of letters to Santa has now spanned across several decades and 3 generations. Cook says the volunteers have answered 10,000 letters as of yesterday, and she says that is about the average amount of letters that are answered at this time of the year. Cook says they are estimating that there will be about 12,000 letters answered by the time all is said and done. The final deadline for having the letters sent in to be answered is Saturday morning. Cook says the last answered letters will be sent out at noon on Saturday. Coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Kurt Duxell, and part 1 of Inform featuring Brad Ward and Nicole Hurley with the Du Bois County Community Foundation. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.